Welcome. What if you were falsely accused? A basic premise of Christianity is that we are all sinners, so we can all practice penitence. But what if you're accused of something you didn't do? This painting is called the Penitent Magdalene, and when it was painted in the mid-1600s, Mary Magdalene was assumed to be a reformed prostitute who spent many years in the desert in penance. There is a reformed prostitute in the Bible, but the Bible doesn't identify her as Mary Magdalene. On the one hand, we could ask if that's such a big deal. It is good that there is a female symbol of penitence, someone who women can model themselves after, just as men can imitate Peter's penitence. In recent years, though, there has been an attempt to set the record straight on Mary of Magdala. Other than the crucifixion and resurrection stories, the only details the Bible offers about Mary Magdalene are A, that she had 7 demons driven out of her, and B, that she and some other women supported or took care of Jesus and the apostles while they were on their road, using their own money. The pearls on the table, the lush fabric, the frame of the mirror, all indicate that this is certainly a woman of means. Gregory the Great, in about 600, is the one who combined stories about an unnamed woman sinner, Mary of Bethany, a prostitute, and a penitent woman from the Golden Legend, and connected them to Mary Magdalene. Since then, artists, homilists, theologians, philosophers, and most Christians have mostly thought of Mary Magdalene as a reformed prostitute. Georges Latour, the artist of this work, titled the piece The Penitent Magdalene, but he didn't play up the prostitute thing as much as some artists have. The low-cut blouse is probably the closest he comes to suggesting it, and the mirror probably is meant to suggest vanity. So I know that the artist intended to depict penitence, but because of the understanding I have of Mary Magdalene, I bring my own bias to the image. Maybe I want to see some sort of justice for her having been falsely accused. But here's the thing. This Mary, at least, seems to be patiently, reflectively bearing a cross thrust upon her. First, she's shown sitting quite calmly, without apparent anxiety. Notice her face and her neck. There's no stress there. Notice the hands. They're relaxed and at peace. Yes, she's holding a skull, perhaps reflecting on mortality, but it doesn't seem to be upsetting her. How would you feel if you were Mary Magdalene? Would you be mad that after you died, you were accused of something you didn't do? Would you be sad? Or would you trust that there was a purpose to serve by your being a symbol of repentance and service to Christ? Notice that her gaze is directed toward the flame. I see the flame in this painting as symbolic of Christ, the light of the world, according to John's Gospel. I see Mary focusing her attention on the flame, on Christ, on that which matters most. But notice the trick of lighting that de la Tour plays with us. From our perspective, there is also a reflection of the light of Christ in the mirror. Latour may have intended the mirror as a symbol of vanity, but I see it as an invitation to the viewer to be conscious of the reflection and the risk of their own vanity. It is easy to accuse another of sin. From Mary's perspective, she might not be able to see the candle reflected. She's at the wrong angle. Is the flame in the mirror a potential distraction for us? Will we miss the true light if we focus our gaze on the reflected light? Mary Magdalene's gaze is at the authentic light, at Christ, and seems to be trusting that whatever role has been thrust upon her, it is part of a greater good. Thank you for watching. God bless.